Hey there. So I just want to give a little bit of insight into how I would work through a journal. And so one of the things is you can get things, journals, pens, paper, embellishments, whatever you want from so many different places. So this came from Dollar General, actually. This set I got of pens, I think came from like Hobby Lobby or something. So there are so many places that you can find things. I am obsessed with the dots, as I talked about earlier. It just helps me to organize, to plan, to draw lines, that kind of thing. So this is one that I had started actually at a journaling workshop that I do at my local library. As I had talked about, there are so many different collections of things that you can write about. Actually, I have an example here. So this is my collections journal, meaning it's about all kinds of things. So here's some examples. Some goals and trackers, meaning habit trackers, memories, birthdays, books, movies, TV shows. So it could be any of these things. This is really like a brainstorming page for me. The reason I left these blank is because I can go back in here and make a table of contents so that I can put page numbers on here and be able to find, oh, where was that page that I wrote a list of books that I want to buy, or pages, because I love so many books. So that's what this will be in a little while. I just didn't get to it yet. As I said, I think in a previous one, I'm going on vacation. And so this is what I did last night, was planning out what I need for vacation. So this is a list journal. Of course, I had my doodles in there. One of the things I noticed, so I love these pens, but they're more artsy. And when I just went to turn the page, I realized that it bled through. And so that's something you should always check when you are writing. You can always put a piece of paper in between. I don't always write on the back of pages, depending on what it is. There are pages, books that you can get that have thicker pages that won't bleed through, or again, like using a different pen. So this pen, I wrote on other pages, and you can see that it did not bleed through. Another fixer-upper, which is pretty cool, is tape, and I've got a bazillion. If you look at this, I've got all kinds. These are mostly from Amazon. Dollar Tree has them also. So they're all different colors and patterns and different fancy things. I keep them on a belt. So basically, if you use washi tape or whatever fancy tape you want, that paste was a little bit. You can just tape it right on, and there it covered it up. So usually when I'm using tape, I try to make it have a reason to need the tape throughout it, but I was just showing you, a reason, a way to cover up those mistakes. And so, you can make any kind of list in here. You could make a calendar in here. I do have another one I wanted to share. So this is my planner. Now this planner came blank, so I filled in the dates. Of course, I put doodles because I can't not put doodles. And then it's the month and then the weeks. And so you could use tape around the edges. You could make checklists. It comes with stickers, that kind of stuff. But some people use this almost like a bullet journal where they put the dates right in there. So maybe this one, I want it to be about different quotes. And maybe I want it to be a coloring page up here. It could be something like that. Or let me look back through and see if any of these make sense here. So it could be about birthdays, books, movies, TV shows, music, lyrics, a gift list. It could be, really, you can choose anything that you want. So I'm going to go back to what I said about quotes, and I'm just going to put the word quotes in the middle. And because quotes are really just kind of like a saying, they won't take up much space. I'm going to add more tape going the other way. And that way you can go back through and put the quotes in the middle. One thing I really like to do a lot is if there's something that's said either at church or at I might hear somebody say it or read it somewhere, whatever, that I'm not home, I'll add it into my phone. And so then when I'm in my phone, I can then add it into my journal. So I'm gonna actually look through on my iPad and see if I can find a quote that I had in my notes. You can also find things on Pinterest, which I've talked about so many times. Ooh, I like this one. This quote that I just found on my iPad that I had written down says, "Don't swallow the storm." And I'm gonna put that right here. So it doesn't need to be fancy. It can be whatever you want it to be. Once I number my pages, then I would add the quotes way back in the beginning. If I wanted to add some notes about that, I could do that. Let's see if I have any other ones. About quietness of heart. Boy, you can tell that I needed some things to focus on to not be anxious, right? But that's not a bad thing. Quietness of heart. Ooh, how about this one? So these are all notes that I had on my phone that now I can delete off. Failing, this is one that Amy needs a lot, does not mean you are a failure. And I think at the end of the day, that's my goal, is to not feel like a failure, and that's one of the areas that I struggle with so much. Failing does not mean you are a failure. I love that. Okay, so I could add more to those, or I could do some doodles around them. There are people that add a lot of different like fancy colored pages. You can cut them out and glue them into your journal. So that's another way. Like I could put a colored page on the back of this and you wouldn't see it, and then write over it. So kind of like I was talking about before with Zentangling, there are no mistakes. You just work around it, because this is basically my heart and my mind in a book. So I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.